Welcome back to my channel A Pinch of NaCl. Watch the video till the end, and if you like the video then subscribe, also like and share. Today we'll discuss about the relationship between the molar conductivity and conductivity, and we'll discuss about the variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with change in dilution, the cause behind this, and also we'll see what is limiting molar conductivity, what is Cole-Ross law and its application. So let us begin. In my earlier video I have told you that molar conductivity is the conductivity divided by the molar concentration. Now conductivity is in the units of Simon meter inverse, and the concentration, since molar concentration, moles per meter cube. But for practical purpose we use the concentrations, or can measure the molar conductivity in the units of Siemens centimeter square mole inverse instead of Siemens meter square mole inverse. But if these units are put, then we'll get the molar conductivity in the units of Siemens meter square mole inverse. As I have told you that for practical purpose, instead of meter unit, centimeter unit is used. So 1 mole per meter cube is equal to 1000 liter per meter cube into molarity in the units of moles per liter. So if we'll, in this above expression, if we'll put these values and change it, then molar conductivity in the units of Siemens meter square mole inverse is equal to kappa in Siemens meter inverse, and the volume is given in the units of liter per meter cube into molarity. And when we change it, then the molar conductivity is kappa into 1000 by molarity. For solving the numericals, this formula will be useful for us. So molar conductivity is equal to kappa into 1000 by molarity in the units of moles per liter. The molar conductivity that we'll find will be in the units of Siemens centimeter square mole inverse. Now let us know how the conductivity and molar conductivity change with change in concentration of the electrolyte. Conductivity decreases with increase in dilution of the electrolyte. That means if we will go on adding the solvent to an electrolytic solution, the solution will become more and more diluted, and the conductivity of that solution will decrease. So conductivity decreases with an increase in dilution or decrease in concentration. But here we will find molar conductivity increases with increase in dilution. So why this happens? Let us know the reason behind this. We know that conductivity is the conductance power of all ions present per unit volume of the solution. So when we add on solvent, then dilution increases and the number of ions per unit volume decreases. Hence conductivity decreases with increase in dilution of the solution. On the contrary, when we increase the dilution, the electrostatic force of attraction between the ions also decreases. Hence the mobility of the ions increases for both strong and weak electrolytes. In addition to that, more number of electrolytes get ionized on dilution in case of weak electrolytes. So molar conductivity increases with dilution. We know that molar conductivity is the conducting power of all the ions present in 1 mole of electrolytic solution. The volume doesn't matter. The total number of particles or electrolytic solution concentration is 1 mole. So when we change the dilution, the concentration, the number of particles that are produced by 1 mole changes, because the electrostatic force of attraction between the ions that decreases. Gradually the ions go farther from each other, so the attractive force between the cation and anion decreases. So because of the decrease of electrostatic force of attraction, the ionic mobility increases. And for weak electrolytes, we know that the degree of dissociation increases with dilution, as we have studied in a Ostwald dilution law. Therefore molar conductivity always increases with increase in dilution, but conductivity decreases with increase in dilution. Now let us know what is limiting molar conductivity. Limiting molar conductivity means the molar conductivity of an electrolyte at infinite dilution or zero concentration. As I have told earlier that molar conductivity increases gradually on increase in dilution. So when there will be infinite dilution or zero concentration, then at that point the molar conductivity will have the highest value, and that is called as limiting molar conductivity. The symbol for this is lambda MO. You will find a diagram where molar conductivity is plotted with the square root of concentration of the electrolyte. There are two electrolytes. One is potassium chloride, which is a strong electrolyte, and acetic acid, which is a weak electrolyte. We will find that at a particular concentration, the strong electrolyte is having higher molar conductivity than that of the weak electrolyte. But as we go on changing the concentration near to zero, means decrease it, then we will find that potassium chloride will reach the y-axis, and if we will extrapolate the graph, then we will find the value at which this line, straight line, crosses the y-axis. That will be the highest molar conductivity of the electrolyte, and that is called as limiting molar conductivity. But for weak electrolytes, we will find that as the dilution increases and the concentration approaches near to zero, then there is a rapid increase in the molar conductivity of the weak electrolyte. Now, if this graph will be extrapolated, then we cannot find the value of limiting molar conductivity for weak electrolytes. So, to find the value of the limiting molar conductivity of weak electrolytes, Cole-Ross law of independent migration of ions is used. As per this law, the statement is the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte can be represented as the sum of the individual contributions of the anion and cation of the electrolyte. For example, we will find the limiting molar conductivity of sodium chloride. That means it will be the sum of the limiting molar conductivity of the cation sodium ion plus limiting molar conductivity of chloride ion. Similarly, suppose we will calculate the limiting molar conductivity of magnesium chloride. Then it will be the limiting molar conductivity of the individual ion magnesium plus 2 into the limiting molar conductivity of chloride ion. Now, why 2 is put? Because when magnesium chloride dissociates, every magnesium chloride unit produces 1 magnesium ion and 2 chloride ions. Therefore, 2 is used here as the coefficient to calculate the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte. Similarly, for weak electrolyte like acetic acid, limiting molar conductivity of acetic acid will be equal to the limiting conductivity of the acetate ion plus the limiting molar conductivity of the H plus ions. We know it's a weak acid, and weak electrolyte. Limiting molar conductivity of the electrolyte can be represented as the sum of the individual contributions of the anions and cations of the electrolyte. Next, we will know what are the applications of Cole-Ross law. There are 3 applications of Cole-Ross law. The first one is to calculate the limiting molar conductivity of weak electrolytes by using the limiting molar conductivity of strong electrolytes, or by using the limiting molar conductivities of the individual ions involved in that weak electrolyte. Second, to find the degree of dissociation of a weak electrolyte. We know that the degree of dissociation is the molar conductivity of the weak electrolyte by its limiting molar conductivity. So this formula will be used to calculate the degree of dissociation alpha of a weak electrolyte. Third, to calculate the dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte. We now suppose the substance is acid, so we can write Ka. If that will be base, then we can write B. or in general you can write the dissociation constant K is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. This is the formula we have earlier got in the Ostwald's dilution law. So in place of alpha, if we will put this formula lambda m by lambda m naught and solve it, then we can find out the dissociation constant of the weak electrolyte. I hope that you have understood the concepts that I have discussed today in this video. In our next video, we will solve a few numericals of NCERT book by using this Cole-Ross law. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.